Yo, welcome back to more Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Last time was great, and it just feels like full steam ahead from this point, man. We had confirmed, finally, oh thank fucking goodness, we got it confirmed that Kaden is, in fact, wait for it, spoiler, Hide's daughter. I don't know why I said spoiler. I guess on the off chance someone clicked on this randomly, but yes, I had kind of a suspicion since I saw a certain scene from a certain movie, and I don't feel bad about the fact that that is what put it in my head, because when I thought about it, like, it made sense, but I was like, wait. But to finally have it confirmed, it's like, oh my god, thank goodness, because it was bothering me for so long. And it's so cool, man. We learned so much about her. Kaden's name apparently also meaning pure, or like something beautiful, like Hide's name means beautiful, very cute. And yeah, the parts of her that are like Hide, how she reads into you. There's been hints. There's been a lot of hints that's made me go, despite her never knowing him, those parts being similar is very, very cool. We just learn her story and, what she does and her role that she plays, for the church. And, yeah, even just the kind of a bit meta point of, like, Shiro wanting to save Kaden and that being tied to his link to Angra. This possession that he is apparently been susceptible to even since the very beginning. The whole point of us as the player driving Shiro through all these events and all these things, like that being the underlying reason, despite Shiro not being aware of it, is a really fucking cool thing, and I really love that they did that, because yeah, it's just crazy that subconsciously it's just been Angra, on the path to trying to save Kaden from all this, because otherwise it's like, yeah, everything's pretty great. We got Medea and Uzuki, we get to spend time with everyone, and it's great, but Kaden is the one kind of just left here, stuck here. Shiro as well, because he's very aware of what's going on, as we had confirmed with Archer as well, which is cool that we had that confirmed. But yeah, so at this point, Bazet also popped up at the end of last part as well. As we know from the last time we saw her after Angra died, to Berserker to give her time to escape. She resolved to check out the other places in Fuyuki. I guess now was able to come to the Emiya household where Rin and Shiro were, even though up to this point it's like, man, it feels like separate Fuyukis up to this point, especially with all the crazy stuff with Bazet and Angra going on. But they met, and Bazet was pretty much straight up told by Rin, no, Shiro won the 5th Holy Grail War, killed Kide, like, just all this stuff, just what actually happened, and that just completely fucked with Bazet. Who knows what's running through her mind right now when we cut back to her. I'm sure we will finally see. Perhaps, maybe, however, she dies next, or I don't know, because she still has to, like, I hate that I say, like, she has to, but she has to get back to Angra somehow, otherwise we have, like, 3 instances of things going on. I don't even know, man. Very, very crazy stuff, but that's where we're at. A lot of things have been cleared up and are known now, and the only thing left to do is to move forward, so we're gonna go to the big bridge. Coming to myself, I make my way towards the park. My early afternoon patrol failed to turn up anything, but I can't say I'm dissatisfied with that. With weather as good as this, I can't help but be in a pleasant mood. It's such a nice day that people are lounging about instead of hurrying to wherever they're going. Could be considered a little slice of happiness, however cheaply bought. A day like this is best spent in leisure, basking in one's good fortune in the company of strangers. Yeah, in the embrace of such a gentle afternoon, not anything could disturb me, not even if a duo like these two should come along, for example. Is that... God save me if these two should show up, though. Oh god, you see that face? You already know. Kaden. That was her shroud. Hang on, what was that just now? As I tremble at the sight of my terribly accurate amateur prophecy, I feel something coil around my leg. Okay, alright. I fervently cross myself, pleading for salvation from imminent reality. In an instant, Miyashiro was reeled in like a common fish while the general public goes about its own business.
Fish.
Alright, tone shift. I was wondering, I was like, oh, is this serious? Is Kaden like, what the fuck? Maybe it is. I'm unceremoniously dragged across the tiled ground. As the catch, my body, rolls to a stop. The red cloth disappears without a trace, evidence destroyed. And the prime suspect saunters up as if everything were perfectly normal. Yet why do I feel like the huntress is about to skin her prey? Oh boy. This song at this point is finally starting to feel like Church on the Hill playing when you see Kide. I brush the dust off my body as I stand up. Of course, I give her my meanest evil eye. My glare does its best to convey, "What the hell was that? You'd better have a damn good reason for doing that or else you're in for a beatdown." Yeah, right. Ah, and there's the theme. There's that theme. Well, let me jam out to this for a second while I make sure everything is good here. Bum 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 bum. Oh my god. Okay, things are fine. Dun 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 dun. Ah, her composure is ironclad. My glare is too low level to even deal a single hit point of damage.
そうだった。こいつは自分の失敗じゃないと何の負い目も感じないやつだった。
That is, there's no problem since she got exactly what she wanted. She would only ever admit to a personal failure, meaning that she probably sees nothing wrong with premeditated assault and kidnapping. I see.
あのさ、あんたこういうことをする人だったっけ?
That told Shiro a lot there.
普段はしませんが、今回はあなたの要望でしたので。
What?
時間が空いているのなら、このように話しかけろと。
Oh, what? At that, I tilt my head in confusion.
俺、自分でこういう風にしてくれって言ったっけ?
確かに言いました。こう、得意の正外譜でバシ
Oh
ュ
my
ッと捕まえろ。
god. That's amazing. I don't remember saying that, but the way she puts it makes it sound like I'm just reaping what I sow.
わかった。
Wow.
自覚はないけど、それはこっちの間違いだ。次からは普通に話しかけてほしい。
そうですね。私もこのような流れで正常な会話が行えるのか不安ではあったのです。
Alright, Kaden outside of the church and not with us about to die, I hope. Great. That's a shame. She has the right of things for once. But I wish she would take a lesson from this moment and apply that common sense to her future decisions.
とにかく、こんにちは、カレン。こんなところで会うなんて珍しいな。
Yeah. Well.
はい。私もこの時間帯にあなたと話せるとは思いませんでした。
Yeah, the timing during the day. Again, not at death. It's different.
ああ、そういえばそんなこと言ってたっけ? 確か日中は教会にしかいられないとか。今は大丈夫なのか?
何事も例外はありますから。無理をすれば少しだけ街に出ることができます。
そっか。じゃあ頑張ればうちに遊びに来ることもできる?
それは、やはり厳しいようです。それに、彼女たちの誰とも私は相性が悪いですから。
That's sad.
そうなのか? そうは見えないけどな。
Honestly, I think she's kind of like Tosaka, though I don't have a real explanation for that opinion. Oh, I also got told something else cool, like the parallels between Shiro and Angara that were being drawn last time. And I guess to add to what I was saying before about, you know, the whole, even from the start of the game, just being this driven, the sense to move forward as a vehicle to be saving Kanen is also, of course, augmented by Shiro himself, like just that feeling of saving someone. He didn't know exactly why or who, but combining that with Angara's apparently wanting that for Kaden and Kaden's apparent familiarity with him is very cool. But also there are apparently parallels Avenger-wise between Angra and Edmond Dantes. Like for example, I think it's Angra. Sorry, I just had to remember this. Like there's a few things, but like Angra being born of hatred but speaking of love, Edmond Dantes being born of love but speaking of hatred, just who they are and what they like. Angra being weak, Edmond being strong. There's a lot of like opposites there between them that I thought were very cool. So thank you for sharing that. Honestly, I think she's kind of like Tosca, though I don't have a real explanation for that opinion. That's yeah, that's interesting. I can kind of see what he means there, though I also don't have an explanation.
まあ、気が向いたら顔を出してくれ。お茶でよければ歓迎するから。
That would be nice, though. I'd be curious to see what that interaction would be like between Karen and any of them, really. But I think Green would be very interesting.
で、手段はとんでもなかったけど、呼び止めたってことは話があるんだよな。一体何の話なんだ、カレン。
Yeah, what up? Did that part surprise her?
どうした？やっぱり教会の外だと具合が悪くなるのか？
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが、あなたがいつもより紳士的なので勝手が違うだけです。
I'm pretty sure we haven't spoken enough for her to say that. Ah, well, maybe I've already heard her performance many times.
悪い。こうして話すのって初めてだったっけ？
ええ。この場所でこうして話すのは初めてです。お互い名前を知っているのですから、何度かお会いしているのでしょう。どうぞ、私の体のことは気になさらず結構です。
Okay, that's good.
そっか。体は何ともないのか。それじゃあ、俺を呼び止めた要件だけど。
要件というほどのことでもありません。話すべきこともありませんから、見かけても通り過ぎるべきだったのですが。
What was that? I just felt a seriously cold chill run down my spine.
幸福そうだったから、つい。
How did that make her feel?
つい刺激心が刺激されてしまいました。
My sadistic heart.
さしたる理由もなく、目に見えて幸福そうでしたので、現状を知らせてあげたくなったのです。人生とは楽なものではなく、常に苦しみ、もだえ、自虐に押しつぶされるもの。その見せかけの幸福は、私の一息でたやすく消し去ってしまうものだ。と。
Thank you, Karen.
それは俺が気に食わないってことだろうか？
いいえ、あなたが憎いわけではありません。私はただ、幸福そうな人を見ると皮を剥がしてみたくなるのです。
This is an interesting thing when talking about what how Karen feels. Like to say like Karen feels joy from her role or where she's at in life, you know, that feels wrong, of course, and it's just, I don't even know how to really say this, but you know, kind of like we know the multiple factors with Shiro that we know have made him fucked up and not even give a thought to pursuing fun for himself. I think for Karen, because she was at least fulfilled to be given a role finally, like throughout her life, and then just being disregarded, being just to finally have a role within the Holy Church doing what she does, despite it being so harmful to her. She's just, to have a purpose meant something to her. But as far as like happiness or joy, that's probably a much more distant thing for her. You could see, right? So this is, you know, her saying happy people just makes me want to flay them alive. I wonder if she, like Kire, you know, wants to find what joy is for her, to understand that, but in her own way, because obviously her story is different, but she is her own person. But yeah, maybe that's, you know, another thing to get into here.
以前から兆候はあったのですが、この町に来てから本格化したような。もしかするとこれは私の趣味なのでしょうか。
A lot of happiness here, I guess. Even listening to this is disturbing. It's confusing to hear, but her intentions seem perfectly clear to me. Oh, that sucks. I agree. We nod in unison. It's a kind of sympathy as if we've just discovered we have a common enemy. Oh my god.
そう言われては無理強いはできません。見たところすぐに冷めてしまいそうなものですし、私が水をかけるまでもないでしょう。
Cotton abruptly turns away with displeasure. Well, thanks, Cotton. Good to know it'll soon end. How should I put it? She looks like a child that's had her favorite toy taken away.
一つ聞き忘れていました。この辺りで怪しい二人組を見かけませんでしたか？大きいのと小さいの。目につく風貌なので、詳しい特徴は言うまでもないのですが。
怪しい二人組？いや、見かけてないけど。
そうですか。この辺りだと感じたのですが、移動したのかもしれません。
Around here, that would be different, but I don't know.
私の目から逃れようなんて、浅ましい使い魔たち。
Oh. Fufu, the nun lets out an oddly warm chuckle. Sister, if there's anyone suspicious around, it's you. True.
さようなら、レミヤシロ。
Bye.
まだ縁があるのなら、教会で会いましょう。
Ooh, a third time. Let's go. I watch her leave, her footsteps fading into the distance. The girl, robed in her religious habit, left the park behind, not as a phantom, but as a real human being. Wow. Well, that was an interesting encounter. Be a step in the right direction. I know I can do these. Like, I have H content off anyway, but I don't know, I just don't feel like it. I'm just more interested in what's going on. Maybe I'll do it next time. Oh. Maybe I have to do those. Shit. Call today. Bye-bye. Shit about to happen here. Static. Ha 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 ha. Yep. Gotcha, bitch. Finally worked. Oh god. Angramanyu. God damn it, I fucked up my mic. My pop filter is so flimsy, I have to... Okay. The first year was spent deciding who to hate. For a long time he had been living in happiness. He was born in a plain, not-so-wealthy family. He had parents that were normal and a sister much younger than him. He woke up early in the morning, helping his father in the forest, carrying back the yield of the day to the village. Oh, we're getting super personal with Angara? Oh my god. That world of his was simple. His everyday life didn't change. That work had gone on for decades. His father and his father's father probably entered the forest and lived under the grace of the mountain the same way. Just like his father and grandfather, he was also going to live a dull and boring life. There was the restlessness of youth, but he knew that would leave him as the years passed. A roof to sleep under, enough food not to starve, and the warmth of his neighbors. That was all he could ever ask for. But why? Why did it have to turn out like that? Villagers were at least entitled to this dull life. It hadn't been a rich village, but it brimmed with the rightness of being able to live normally and die quietly. The other villagers weren't any different from him. The other villagers thought of him as one of them. This vexes him even now. Nothing had suddenly gone wrong. There was no mistake anywhere. The choice that was made had been, undeniably, the will of humanity, including himself. That's why it still vexes him even now. Had it at least been the will of heaven, he could have cursed God's cruelty and been done with it. Filthy demon. Oh god, it came without any warning, as naturally as saying good morning to another. First, the eyes. Leaving the house, he went towards the woods like always. He said hello to a passing neighbor, but was ignored. The disaster took place in the middle of the village. Villagers he had never met surrounded him, and he would never return there again. Hey, leave the left eye. The ceremony was performed calmly. Apparently he had been the devil himself. This fact, unknown even to him until now, left the people in grief and disgust. Finally, their anger rose up, and his fate was decided. Damn noisy he is. We should take care of the throat. There was more doubt than fear within him. Why? Why do this? Why did this happen? Why did it have to be him, of all people? After all, no matter how hard he thought about it, there wasn't a trace of a pretext to be found. And on top of that, how? Yeah, as long as he can breathe, I guess. How could they do such a thing? Cut the tendons in his arms and legs. Only the tendons, mind you. His body belongs to everyone in his village. He must leave enough for everyone. Jesus! Several men took care of the ceremony. Cursed by almost everyone he knew, his arms and legs lost their function even while retaining their shape. This is your punishment for not endowing our lives with abundance, they said, and they meted out appropriate punishment to every part of his body. Cut his tongue off too, as if we'd give him the satisfaction of letting him die. Oh my god. Insulted by many of those he knew, he was covered in filth. This is what you get for threatening our lives, they said, and every part of his body rewarded their discontent. The worst part is this is a perfectly believable story of what people would do. Serves you right, you damn demon. That was the end of him as an individual human. His emotions were destroyed by the pain of losing his body. His rational mind was destroyed from the sorrow of losing his dignity. I'll slaughter you. And so, he had been kneeling for who knows how long. Not a single moan escaped him. The branch piercing through his throat had started to rot. Branch? Oh my god. His tongue had been ripped out long ago. His vocal organs had become inflamed after a night of screaming. Why? People that knew him, people that didn't know him, he was abused by everyone alike. The administering of justice needs no reason. They, with their righteous anger and morals, hated the demon confined atop the mountain without an ounce of shame. The likes of you should not live, they laughed. Yet they would not even do him the kindness of killing him. Hatred begets more hatred. Going beyond terror and confusion, hatred was eventually born within him. But who must this hatred be directed at? Why? 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 He thought and spoke this question too many times to count. Even as one of his eyes was crushed and as his fingers were cut off by some scissor-like tool, the words he managed to squeeze out of his throat were, "Why me?" None of the villagers would tell him. Please stop. Please send me back. Please save me. He did not put voice to those wishes he had already given up hope on. He had accepted it when the last of his fingers and toes, the big toe on his left foot, was cut off by the person who had once been his father. Oh my god. He had only a single wish left. Why me? That question alone was his final request, but nobody would tell him. The moment he realized the answer, he became a real demon. There was no reason as to why he was a demon. There was no reason for him to be chosen as the sacrifice. To begin with, the village elders, the people in power, never even knew him. Anyone would have been fine. It was not that he was hated because of his sins, neither was he isolated because of his good deeds. As a completely dull, ordinary person, he was chosen completely by chance. Just for the sake of a one-day luxury, people he never met ended the life of a human that they never knew. That's all there is to it. Merely to fulfill the desires of a single night, his life, fostered well for decades, was trampled upon and crushed. This world is governed by things that are not people. The moment he realized that, he decided upon the target of his hatred. All the evil in the world. The revered effigy thus became a genuine demon. An egg that will never hatch. An anti-hero of this small world that would rid it of all sins. He had no limbs to struggle in pain. His limbs were completely severed. Only his heart was still alive. No arms, no legs, no dignity left. He had no functions as a human, but his sense of pain alone had yet to fail him. He took on a countless amount of hatred, while bringing forth hatred just as infinite. Oh my god. His collapsed personality gained order in its own broken way. He was stone. Never going outside the stone prison, his body wasn't allowed to move at all. The eyelid of his remaining left eye was fixed, not allowing it to close. His dry, cracked eyeball continued to stare at the outside world. He was just like a stone statue that was conscious. Without taking a single step, he watched the unchanging scenery for a month, a year, decades. He could neither avert nor close his eye. The treatment that would make him forget the fact that he was still alive before the tedium sickened his mind would, in fact, continue until his death. What frightened him, however, was the fact that this torture, difficult to bear for even a single day, would last for his entire lifetime. A healthy person's sanity would surely fall apart in no more than 7 days. What allowed him to endure it, what preserved his soul, was the fact that his sanity had already been broken. Unchanging scenery wouldn't break him. That which spread beneath his eye was his hometown. The people that called him a demon as they turned him into a real one. The village that the hatred came from. He had an unbroken view of it all. A repulsive mass of goodwill, prospering by sacrificing the weak. He will continue to hate as long as he lives. This absurdity, the hidden repulsiveness of mankind, the overly tolerant world that approved of it. Yeah. All that's left in this stone prison is the hatred that has been scorched in. Neither the personality nor the body that once belonged to him are in here. The soul in his physical body was annihilated long ago. It has already become something else. Only the hatred born from within him continues to smolder within his body, even to this day. Fuck, man. Oh my god, I'm so glad that we got his full perspective on that and everything that happened. Holy fucking shit. To see how he feels personally about it, what truly, like, made him feel like a demon as that happened. But it's even curious to say, like, about the years that apparently passed. Like, that is insane. What the fuck? I'm gonna continue here, but yeah, this is good. Who knows how many years passed like that? To him, having lost his sense of time, the world continued its dizzying transformation, even as it stagnated. The ties he had from back when he was human were no exception. The people that chose him, the people that took away his legs and arms, the people that were his blood relatives, the people that hated him, the people that he loved. Their hatred did not last as long as that held by the human they sacrificed. Those who stole everything from him disappeared from this world before he did. Like shooting stars, the strong, merciless flicker of the ever-coming days burned into his eyeball. For a long time, he was left in that sunny spot. That's crazy, man. He saw so many lives, the result of too many meaningless lives, consuming time and space, burning up their own lives recklessly, bearing children, amassing riches, yet ending without a trace. Hollow as they may have been, they were not void. I like that. Although they ended, it wasn't as though they did not continue. The wheel of time keeps turning. Lives wither, then bloom again. The cycle of prosperity and decay. The scenery before him kept on spinning. There were times of destruction, overrun by believers of a different faith. There were times of expansion, taking in fresh blood. Throughout it all, he continued to stare with hatred. Hatred was the only means by which he could connect to it. There is evil atop this mountain, breathing malice into all of us. That became a teaching passed down in the village since old times. As long as there was hatred, as long as he was hated, he would not die. What the fuck? The new villagers hated, worshipped, and thanked him as their everyday enemy. The young man who had become the demon didn't even exist there anymore. Hatred that gave birth to nothing. A blank space that existed to help life advance smoothly day after day. An open hole in their everyday life, a dumping ground that received all their overflowing emotions. What a convenient, false void that could never become anything. That village too disappeared in a flash, neither decaying nor prospering. Times changed, people changed, and the mountain village, having fulfilled its role, went back to being an open field. Everything he hated disappeared without a trace. But where does he direct that hatred? His name and body had been lost, and he had even lost sight of his soul. And in the end, even hatred left him behind. So that's how it ended. And yet, he is still connected to this place. Many years passed. People perished. The village perished. But even after his own body died, he cannot move from here. The hatred burned into this place is unchanging and undying. As long as the world of humans continues on, it will exist forever. In this empty wasteland. Forever gazing at the end of the world. Oh my god. Yo. We saw through Shiro's eyes for a bit, because that's Angra's like present in that possession. But now, and like that, I finally opened my eyes. And he's back. Oh, she's back. Right, he's been back. But, oh, Bazet finally, okay, got it. Right, of course, yeah, Bazet would be the one learning that and observing that. Alright, I jump to my feet off the couch. My head throbs painfully, the chaos doesn't stop, and the room that I should already be used to appears as though a battlefield in the middle of a bombing. Oh right, yeah, with the days up, you know, Bazet is back here. Standing up, I run while swinging my right arm. I move my arm as recklessly as a person on fire, and head to a corner of the room while shaking off my delusions. And in the corner, there is my servant, sitting down like always. I have neither the composure nor affection to answer him. Oh yeah, the shit she just learned, both about Angra there, and also what fucking Green told her. So that's what she saw, what she remembers seeing and being told. Goddamn. I push him aside, having no clue what I am trying to do myself, stand in front of the mirror. It's a good CG. I remember this one. The figure looking back at me is exactly the same as it was back when I stood here for the first time. There are no irregularities. There is nothing wrong with me whatsoever. But, if I remember correctly, when I first saw this mirror, I felt uneasy. What happened to that arm of yours? Oh my god. Yeah, what Rin pointed out to her. Which it made me think, was that the injury that she got when she was killed originally? I feel dizzy. Something that was locked away comes pouring out. That's right. I noticed it at that time. There's something extra on the me reflected in the mirror, and something that should be there is missing. What made that uneasiness so vague? In the mirror? She can see in the mirror. Was it not the servant that's now laughing behind me? I keep staring at the reflection in the mirror. My disordered mind, unable to bear the concentration, sends me into another bout of vertigo. And there, within my vision, flashing on and off, I see a terrible image. Oh my god. Whoa. Holy fuck. Was her arm missing? Yo. My ragged breathing starts to calm down. I touch my left arm with my right hand. It's only an illusion. The left arm is certainly there. But so is a lingering feeling of discomfort that I can't seem to erase.
何？腕、どうかしたのか？
A voice from behind me. My mind, having just settled down, picks up speed once again.
別に何も。そんなことより、あなた。
Here we go. I turn around. Opening my eyes, I look firmly at him. Yo! Oh my god! Finally! Holy shit! Look at him! God damn! Okay. There he is. The boy laughs like a clown. That face. Perhaps it might be familiar to someone other than me. He's the Shiro face.
そうか。
He's like Muramasa.
昼間のうちに他のマスターに会ったんだな。
He knows. This servant knew everything from the beginning. I realized that long ago, yet I still...
だから昼間は出歩くなって忠告したのに。まあしょうがねえか。あのお嬢さんの話は本当だぜ。あんたが派遣された聖杯戦争はもう半年も前に終わっている。
God damn it. And here we are, just facing the truth of it. I mean, after this, what's next? What even... Oh my god. Because yeah, this has come to a head now. What is Bazet gonna do? I still wanted to trust this servant.
では、この聖杯戦争を起こしているのは
You.
俺たち以外に誰がいる？
Yeah.
いや、大体聡明なあんたのことだ。そんなのはすぐに気づいたはずだ。なのに自分をごまかして、記
Wow.
憶さえ閉じ込めて、
Wow.
一生懸命おままごとを続けやがっ
You
た。
son of a bitch.
しかしまあ、それもこれですっきりだ。もういいだろう、マスター。この茶番はさ、聖杯戦争を続けたいあんたが、引退した連中を引き戻して遊んでいるだけってわけだ。
But she was the one that wanted to keep fighting? Wicked laughter. He's getting on my nerves. He's getting on my nerves. He's getting on my nerves. Getting on my nerves.
私を騙していたのか、アベンジャー。
人聞きの悪い。単にあんたが聞かなかっただけだろう。5回目の聖杯戦争がどうなったのかを聞いてくれれば、あんたがどうやって殺されたか教えてやったのに。
How you died. Poor Bazet, man. It hurts. My chaos-filled head hurts. My eyeballs that glare at him hurt. My disordered breathing hurts. And above all, a throbbing pain in my left arm, as if it's just been amputated.
苦しいか？だが大丈夫。あんたならすぐに落ち着くさ。きっかけはあっけなかったが、気づいたのならこれで。
The shadow holds his hand out. The feeling of my left arm shoots through my brain.
僕も今まで
I trusted him. I thought of him as a comrade.
お前も私を裏切ったんだ。
The moment I let loose those words, I lose all rational thought. Just being there, unable to bear even my own existence, I ran out, my feet taking me somewhere on their own. Poor fucking Bazet, man. Jesus. As if just running away. My torn memories, the left arm spilling invisible blood, they have taken all rational thought away from me. I can't remember. I certainly heard it, yet I still can't recall the conversation I had with that girl. Dead, she said. Someone had died and the Fifth Holy Grail War was over. Died? Who? I fled back then, too. Not even hearing that the Holy Grail War ended was enough to disturb me. So how did such a trifle end up destroying me so thoroughly? I don't know what she does now, dude. I don't know. I run. I have nowhere to go, yet I'm running towards one very certain place. My left arm feels like it's being torn off. A sense of pain invades my mind, causing endless chaos and confusion. I, who left my hometown, an antique that had no place in the association, I was driven further and further into a corner as I tried to find my worth, and could not. After leaving my hometown far behind, I then realized just how much I loved it, yet I could not go back. I had nothing definite, my own self was still vague. I built up an imposing exterior and nothing more, and on that day, for the first time, I saw a strength I could rely on. Not needing anyone. I selfishly admired that, thinking how much easier my life would be if I could be the same. I cringe in pain. I have morphine in my bag. This would be the first time I've ever wanted a painkiller, but I can't inject it into my left arm, so I'd rather have it right in my spine. Jesus, that way it would hit my brain right away and I can forget everything. Jesus. Forget it, forget all about it. I don't want to hear about who died. I came to this town as a master, I couldn't care less about that man. Well, but why was I the one chosen? Bazet Fraga McRemitz is a sealing designation enforcer. Any way you slice it, a Holy Grail War in a faraway eastern land is definitely outside of her jurisdiction. There has to be a reason. There has to be another reason I'm here. That reason made me so happy. I was so happy to be able to meet him again after all these years. I'm a mess. Who died? I'm a mess. Who died? A mess. Who died? Oh boy. How wonderful. I can hear a silver-colored song. And of course that leads her here. I'm finally here. The place that I never entered up until now. The place I wanted to visit for a long, long time. From what I've heard, it's a small yet elegant chapel. He abstained from luxury and lived a life of self-imposed stringency. I'm sure the building will be very much like him. Yeah? Gloomy decorations, a tension in the air. These were all aspects of him, yeah? The vestiges of the man I trusted, making me nostalgic just by thinking about it. Why didn't I come sooner? That's crazy. When you think about the way she trusted Kide, and I guess how he ended up betraying her. From what I guess, given how he's the one who has Lancer in the Fifth Holy Grail War. You know, I assume him being the one giving her, taking her left arm and killing her. You know, that betrayal. And now with Angra's, the betrayal she feels from that, because we know, I guess, the apparent, wish Angra made. I don't know, he kind of maybe implied that it was her. I don't know if he was lying just to gaslight her, if he was just being cheeky like Angra is. It's hard to tell, but regardless, this is news to Bazet. He's like, you should have asked for, I would have told, you should have asked. God damn it. Oh man, and I feel so bad for her, man. Because I don't know what's next for her, but I love that she came here. And, you know, in trying to remember the conversation about who died, and you know, the reason she came to this town, to this Holy Grail War, as a sealing designation enforcer. Right, that's a good question, right? But we know the personal reason, so we're gonna see how this goes down. This is where I'll find him. In the Fifth Holy Grail War, the priest will always welcome those who visit this church and... Oh, just his daughter. Eh? This isn't what I heard. Also, yeah, it's destroyed. Nothing but ruins and an unfamiliar girl waiting for me in his place. The pain is at its climax. It's as if my left arm is falling off. Does she know? I don't know if she knows, cause like, yeah, she said like her dad never came forward, so she was sent off to, you know, with this other priest who didn't give a shit about her. But yeah, she probably doesn't know. I don't know.
目を覚ましなさい、バゼット。あなたが望むものは初めからなかった。ことに綺麗がただの一度もあなたを愛したことがなかったように。
Damn, dude. That's crazy because I never would have expected like her feeling toward Kire. Obviously, we know Kire. To him, we already know how he is, but Jesus. Whoa. She immediately shattered it. I was chosen because of the recommendation he gave me. What? What?
何か個人的な交友でもあったのかな?
What the damn fuck? Also, do I know this voice? Have I heard this voice maybe from Case Files with Elmo Lloyd II? I don't know. But Jesus, he's the one who recommended her. He nominated her. What? Oh, Kide. Oh, Kide. Oh, Kide. You. Oh my god. Not even the vulgar sarcasm of the association fazed me. I was happy to be chosen by the man that never chose anyone. Oh, poor Bazet. But we never continued from where we left off last time. Mixing business and personal affairs would only disappoint him. Having recognized my abilities, he recommended me as a master. Therefore, when I met him, it would be as the victor. I intended to see him only after winning the Holy Grail War. Everything was going smoothly. I made a contract with the ideal servant and set up my base in a Western-style mansion which had been used by a magus before. Edelfelt. Soon all 7 masters would be present. As I was preparing for the upcoming battle, he came to visit me in that room, and... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god, she just remembered. Oh my fucking god. Kide, you fucking bastard. I'm not surprised. I love him. I love him so much. That's my guy, but oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Dude, that scream was so good, dude. Jesus. He killed me. I've remembered. Those were my last moments. The fate of one miserable master that was called to the Holy Grail War yet never had the chance to participate in it.
この茶番はさ、聖杯戦争を続けたいあんたが引退した連中を引き戻して。
Yeah, he says you wanting to keep the Holy Grail War going. He said that. Because before I assumed Angra, like that's the assumption I made, but it's possible. Because, you know, it's Bazet and Angra now, which is interesting in itself, but it's possible that in Bazet's dying moments, in the most desperate dregs of a wish to just be able to keep going, to fight her Holy Grail War, that was able to manifest somehow. It's exactly as Avenger says. Kotomine attacked me from behind, and I was on the verge of death. My left arm holding the command spells had been torn off. Ah, of course. And I was left alone in that mansion. Fuck, man. My wound would bring death if I moved even slightly. Yet it was also a fatal wound that would eventually kill me, even if I didn't. Barely alive, I made a wish from the bottom of the consciousness that was running out together with my blood. Okay, got it. Not for revenge. With death overtaking me, I had no room for anger at being betrayed. Nor was it despair. My dimming mind felt no sadness at the betrayal. At that moment, I had but one thought remaining in my heart. I don't want to die. I don't want to die in a place like this. I don't want to die in such a pitiful way. I can't bear dying alone like this. Time had stopped. More than halfway towards death, I kept on screaming until the remains of my life were all used up. Then... Yo. Yo. Oh my god. A mysterious and unfamiliar something. Yo. This vocal filter is giving me PTSD to something else. If you know, you know. Wow. Holy shit, that's how it happened. Happened to hear me. What the fuck? How did Agra... It was most likely what used to be the Holy Grail. A formless void inside the Holy Grail smashed by the winner of the 5th Holy Grail War. By all rights, once the Grail had been destroyed, it ought to have returned to the Throne of Heroes. But that thing lived inside the Holy Grail. No. Inside the wish-granting Grail, it had finally taken the form of the hero everyone had wished it to be. Yup. It was the servant reborn inside the Holy Grail. The one called all the evil in the world, having become the demonic Grail that grants people's wishes, had answered my call. However much of an embodiment of the Holy Grail he may be, he was a servant. Without a master, he would disappear. But like Sakura with Angra, now it was Bazet with Angra. Through an impossible miracle, an accident that would never happen again, he had finally become the hero that everyone wished him to be. And yet, he would disappear, having lasted not even one night. Our mutual interests happened to coincide in the fact that neither one of us had a future. Well, of course, I was already about to meet my end. Makes sense? Makes sense. Goddamn, I was delirious. I had no time to contemplate that being's nature. I was just terrified that, after my death, my body would rot, decay, and eventually become nothing. That's why only one thought remained burning in my mind as I laid on the verge of death. I don't want to die. I want to extend the contract. Thus, the thing that had lost its old shell known as the Holy Grail found a new home in me by forming a contract. I lost consciousness the very next moment. That is, I died. So what's left here is my corpse. A pitiful misconception repeating the same 4 days indefinitely, frolicking forever inside a walled garden. Had my last wish been, I want to be resurrected, I doubt he'd have been able to grant it even then. He said it himself. The dead cannot revive the dead. To give form to the dead is a privilege reserved only for the living. That's why the most he can do is deceive the soul. He preserves the soul separated from the body, and for as long as the contract is in force, he will play this convenient dream with real life set as its stage. It's all out in the open now. It's lavishly ornamented. A hollow, like a cradle built in the depths of slumber. That's right. This never-ending Holy Grail War itself is what Bazet wished for. Yo, it was her wish. Fuck. I mean, it makes sense in her final moments. But that Angra heard her in this instance and reached out and gave her the opportunity. Because it saves him. It, in a very fucked up way, saves her. Not really. Again, like it said, it's just a deception of the soul. That servant was my very own wish-granting Holy Grail. And that's how this shit happened. So it wasn't just the jeweled sword. Got it. Okay. I finally get to the church, several minutes behind Bazet. Oh boy. I knew this fleet-footed lady ought to seek refuge here. For Bazet Fraga McRemits, this church is the last bit of support she can rely on. It's also the one place she should never set foot in. True. Oh boy. Yo. We're gonna get to see Angra and Karin. Yo, this is what we want to see too. Because apparently, you know, with what Angara wants to, I guess, save Karen. And her familiarity with him. Either way, we gotta go get Bazet, man. She is not... I don't know what she does now. I don't know. Even though, judging by her good mood earlier, I can expect to meet with instant death if I face her right now. I'm not the kind of servant who would abandon his master when she's at her most desperate. Okay. Preparing myself for the possibility that my head is about to part ways with my body, I fumble in the darkness until my hands find the door. Inside the abandoned building, there's a woman feebly hanging her head. And at the altar, there's a silver flower in bloom.
Yo. その様子じゃほとんど思い出したってところだな。
She has. God, man, when it showed, like, her remembering everything and Kide coming to the old western mansion and killing her and taking her left arm, removing the command seals. Yikes, man. That's crazy. And the fact that he personally recommended her to bring her in, to bait her, to be the one that he took a servant from and become a player in the war. That is so Kide. That is so fucking Kide. Poor Bazet. Holy shit. How unlucky to feel how she did for a man like Kide. Again, yeah, it's not a wonder that she was caught off guard. The woman doesn't answer. Looks like she calmed down, but guess she's still mad at me.
ありゃ、まだご機嫌斜めですか。仕方ないな。特別サービスだ。本当は聞かれなきゃ答えねえんだが、ここは包み隠さず、正直に世界の仕組みを説明してや。
必要ありません。
Oh boy.
あなたが答えるべきことは2つだけだ。
Here we go. Come on. She cuts me short. There was no emotion in the words she shot at me. The woman has become a machine. Oh boy. That's never good. In that case, there's no need for me to stay human either.
私が望む限り、聖杯戦争は終わらない。
Yes.
聖杯戦争が続く限り。
Yes. That's fine then. She passes me as she heads out of the church. I can't believe it. Right now I'm genuinely shocked.
待て。ならいいってなんだ。ここまで来て振り出しに戻るのか。
1日目に戻るのはいつものことでしょ。今さら何を言うのですあなたは。
Oh wow. The tables have been turned.
わからないな。からくりを知ったんだろ。
The trick.
ならもういいはずだ。この世界は死にかけだ。終わらないが続かない。そんなところにいたって何にもならないじゃないか。
それは外の世界も同じことです。私も。私を取り巻く世界も。それを許す世界そのものも。とっくに崩壊しだしている。再生はない。あとはただ、滅びをどれだけ緩やかに引き伸ばすかだけの話だ。
She's terrified. She's saying she is terrified of the inevitable death.
私たちは未来のない世界に生きている。そんな現実に戻るの。ここで永遠に繰り返していた方がいい。
Understandable.
そうだ。もっと早く気がつけばよかった。裏切られたから悲観することはない。元から私には何もなかった。あんな場所で生きるぐらいなら4日間しか続かなくてもここで生き続けた方がマシだ。
That's wrong. Being weak is fine, but stalling in here is a bit of a waste. What was it that you struggled to breathe up until now for?
こっちのがマシか。それこそ何を今さら口にする。現実が厳しいなんてそんなことあんたは生まれた時から分かっていたんじゃないのか。
She's pessimistic because she's weak. However, it's swallowing up that weakness and dying that's the number one sign of being human. That's what the priest was saying.
話はここまでです。戦いを続けます。
Jesus, I don't like this. Yeah, this is what she's resolved to now, and it's just I don't like it. I mean, I understand it. Oh man, I understand it, but Bazet is leaving the church. This is completely beyond my expectations. I thought that once she regained her memories, she would reject the silliness once and for all. Unfortunately, I can't really think of anything. Well, whatever. If the master intends to fight, the servant ought to just follow along. One last push will be a job left for the hero of justice. Alright. I guess it will. Okay. Here we go. There's a woman standing at the altar. She's so sensitive she might just die if I get any closer. The distance between us now is the closest we can manage. It's not like we could ever talk to or touch each other to begin with. Her tone is cool and indifferent. Since neither one of us cares much for the other's existence, our conversations are never any longer than they need to be. However, for whatever reason... But she's talking about meeting Shiro. But, like him, like the same, because of the possession, I guess. She brings up something unnecessary. I give a vague reply. Whether I should show joy or envy, react with surprise or with sorrow. Honestly, I have no idea. The atmosphere is getting awkward, so let's get this over with. Oh, here we go. She will not be saved. I don't want to hear it. What is she saying he should do? It's not what I think it is, right? Her statement isn't even correct in the first place. So long as they seek help. One way or another, I guess. Yeah. And got no clue about bringing salvation while still alive, unfortunately. Those that fell into despair can't be changed. So instead, you just need to switch that despair with something more meaningful. As one lies on their deathbed, being able to savor the illusion of a well-spent life in their final moments ought to bring happiness to any human. Wow. Really? Liar. Wow. The woman goes up the stairs. In the end, I'm the only one left in the chapel. How many million times? If it's been that many, a string of ordinary days that I already know everything there could possibly be to know about. A world dimming ever so slightly with every new event. A world that I've never personally experienced, but where everything is known to me at the same time. There are still some gaps in it, but I'm sure even those are just worthless bits of daily life. Well, anyway. Being criticized for lying doesn't put me in a good mood, that's for sure. Just what does that woman think I am, anyway? It's a good question. I would like to know. But I guess that's for another time. Cradle Hollow. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. And of course, it is right back to the church for a third time. I'm gonna leave this one right here since we are getting super duper story heavy right now. I'm going to let what just happened simmer for a day or two, and we will come back to this and I guess finally knock out the stuff at night at the Emiya household, like the drinking and the bath stuff or whatever. I'm sure it'll be fun, good times, and we'll cherish those one last time before we finally do this with Karen. So yeah, we'll see. But holy shit, Bazette, poor fucking Bazette, finally knowing the full truth, how she died. That it is her own wish that made the loop possible, her dying wish to not die. Angara reaching out at the same time, which also helped him not die after the Grail being destroyed at the end of the war. Now them existing together, Angara knowing all of this from the start. Bazette, after all that, all the anguish she just experienced, just resolving to continue. So that is true stagnation at this point. Not anything Angara can think to say or from Bazette herself is going to change her own fear of truly dying at this point, ending the illusion. That's just what it is and what it's going to stay until Shiro can do something about it to finally end the Hollow Paradise. So, yeah, we'll have to see. That was, oh my god, that was so great though, just finally getting all of that. Everything is becoming so much more clear. Hello, I have a cat next to me right now. You can't really see her. Her name is Ellie, but she's very sweet, and it's now sitting on me. All right, well, thank you very much. Oh, there she goes. Thank you very much for watching. As far as, well, before I end, as far as the other things, I mean, when it comes to like Angara and Karen, I'm still very curious. I don't know if Angara was exaggerating about millions of times, but I think there's possibly an implication there of their interactions in the past. Like, we didn't get too much there from Angara and Karen, but clearly there's like a big thing there between them, just given like what we've seen from Shiro's side of the possession and of what Karen has said before. I don't know, but maybe it is just that, but I don't know, it ties into like what I was thinking before, and I could just be wrong about it, but that's fine. Either way, that was cool to see, and yeah, man, holy shit, this is really all just full steam ahead. We're getting story, major plot, back to back. The question is, what is going to happen on this third visit to Karen? First one, we got a lot of important stuff. Second time, we learn more personally about Karen. This third time, maybe it'll be what exactly Shiro has to do next to decisively do something about this, or to reach Angara, to reach Bazette, to do something about that. That is, I think, going to still require Ilia's help. I haven't forgotten that, because last time we did a trigger for an event, but where Shiro didn't remember what he needed to say to her. He knows there is something he needs to talk to Ilia about, but didn't quite remember. At least I think that's still a factor, because they are like the ultimate counter to Bazette and Angara. But I don't know, I don't think it'll be as simple as that, because yeah, Bazette and Angara do lose to Hercules, but that'd be kind of meta, but that'd be kind of a lame way to end it. Like, oh, Shiro just rolls up with Herc and they just win. Yeah, it'll definitely be different from that. But yeah. Regardless, I look forward to that confrontation and whatever this third visit is going to give us from Karen. And poor Bazette, man. Poor Bazette. Looks like Shiro is saving someone else. Shiro's going to have to save Bazette in a sense as well. I like what Angra meant by salvation, because salvation, you know, especially for someone like him, definitely means something different than, you know, actually being saved, or even something positive. I think salvation is just, in that sense, it's just an end. It's a resolution, not necessarily positive. Could be negative, could be death, could be, but it's a resolution for the problem, the issue, the situation. So yeah, we'll just have to see what that ends up being. Either way, that is it for this part. Once again, thank you very much for watching. We'll be heading back into this in a couple days, and I will see you then. Peace.